Republican Senator Rick Scott from the great state of Florida put out a video this week on Twitter where he made it abundantly clear that socialists and communists and anybody who enjoys big government, you're not welcome in what he calls the free state of Florida. We're going to play that clip in just a moment, but I want to point out here, we have a sitting Republican senator, a United States senator, putting out a video on Twitter telling people that depending on your ideology, I don't want you to come into my state. And yes, he did specifically single out socialism and communism, but he also did go on to say, and anyone who supports big government, which of course is code words from Republicans for Democrats. We're not welcome in the state of Florida. So here is the video clip of Rick Scott telling us who is and who isn't allowed into his state of Florida. Take a look.
Senator Rick Scott here. Let me give you a travel warning. If you're a socialist, communist, somebody that believes in big government, I would think twice. Think twice if you're thinking about taking a vacation or moving to Florida. We're the free state of Florida. We actually don't believe in socialism. We actually know people, and some people in our state lived under it. We know people lived under socialism. It's not good. It's not good for anybody. So if you're thinking about it, if you think about coming to Florida and you're a socialist or communist, think twice. We like freedom, liberty, capitalism, things like that.
You know what he didn't mention in that video? He didn't say white supremacists are not allowed in Florida. He didn't say Nazis are not allowed in Florida, and we've had a lot of Nazis spring up over the last few years, throwing their swastika flags over overpasses in Central Florida, showing up at the gates of Disney, trying to yell at people wanting to go into the theme parks. We've had Nazis all over Florida. We haven't really, as I think about it, had big demonstrations by communists. I mean, we haven't had the socialists out there, screaming at people and threatening to kill them. Nope, that's just the Nazis and the white supremacists that have done that, but Rick Scott apparently is totally cool with them. And for the record, everybody on Twitter also pointed that out. And good for them for pointing that out to this little bigot's face. But I also have to take issue with the fact that he says, we love capitalism. Oh, I'm sure you do, Rick. You love capitalism so much that the company you were running stole over $1 billion from Medicare. It is the largest Medicare fraud in the history of the United States. And you, Rick Scott, two-term governor of Florida, now first-term senator from Florida, you had to plead the Fifth Amendment 75 times so as not to incriminate yourself in the activity that the company you were running engaged in. So I'm sure you do love capitalism, because when you know how to take advantage of it, you can make yourself a very wealthy man, now can't you? Here's the thing, Rick. Let me explain this to you very clearly. I am a registered Democrat. I got a lot of socialist tendencies in me. And I've actually been in Florida longer than you, right? You're a transplant as far as from what I've read. So you are in my state. And let me go ahead and tell you, you're not welcome. We don't like people who run companies that rip off the federal government for programs that are paid for with our tax dollars. We don't like that here in Florida. I know the idiot Republicans do, but normal people in this state, which unfortunately there's a shrinking number of us, we don't like that. But furthermore, it's not up to you and it's not up to me which kind of ideologies get into which state. Communists can go wherever the hell they want to go. Socialists can. Communism is not the threat that you morons seem to think it is. Yes, there are self-identified communists all over the United States. I see them all the time on Twitter. I follow some on Twitter. Occasionally, they've got really good political takes. Sometimes they've got very bad ones. But communism is not knocking on our doors. Communism was effectively mostly defeated. Yes, there are a couple countries that have massive communist parties, but they're not knocking on our doors trying to force us into communism, okay? We won the Cold War. But they're not going to stop. They're going to use that word. They can't define it. They can't define socialism. And they're going to use it to justify their attacks on Democrats, because as stupid as these elected officials like Rick Scott are, their base is far dumber than they are. So they can hoodwink them and confuse them by using words like communism and socialism and the base is going to eat it up every single time. Thanks for watching, everyone, and well, here comes the awkward part at the end of the video where I ask you to like, comment, and share, and subscribe for more content from Ring of Fire. Also, you should consider becoming a member for some exclusive content and perks, including early access videos and exclusive videos. Check out the link in the description.